Welcome to the Stop Overdrinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving working moms come to learn how to stop overdrinking, reduce overwhelm and anxiety, and show up like the players they were meant to be. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik, and let's dig in. This is episode 16, Abundance, Stopping Overdrinking versus Stopping Drinking, and a special announcement about my new 8-week program. Here we go. So the first thing is abundance. And when I talk about abundance, and when you think about having abundance or you're abundant in your life, what do you guys think about? And so when I sort of initially started this work and looked at my life and like abundant, I always thought of like things. So like I have a house, I have a nice car, we have a lot of clothes, we go on nice trips. Like we're abundant in sort of material things. But there's an abundance mindset that people don't really get when they try to have new goals, or they want to lose weight, or they want to stop over drinking, or they want more money, right? So a lot of times people approach those things that they want to achieve with a mindset that they're missing something. Like they feel like if they could lose weight, they would feel happy. So like they're not happy now, but they think if they got that thing, if they lost the weight or got that number on the scale down, that they would feel better. So that's sort of approaching it from a place of like, you're lacking, like you don't have that now, but you would feel better if you had it in the future, right? So when you approach your journey or trying something new or, changing things up from that place, like you're missing something, like I have to have, like I was talking about in my run. So I felt like I needed to run. It's like that need, have, should type of language. When you have that in your mind and you know that, like just be conscious of what you're thinking. If you have those thoughts about any of those sort of areas in your life, like I have to lose weight, I have to stop over drinking, I have to have more money, it's like you're telling yourself you don't have everything that you need now. And it's just a big lie, because everybody that's watching this or listening to this has everything that they need, okay? If you are listening to a podcast, you probably have all of your basic needs met. You've got a phone to listen to the podcast on, you've got internet, you probably have running water, enough food to eat, and you probably have shelter, right? Like you have all of your basic needs met. And so literally everything else should be icing on the cake. And most of us that, my people that listen to this, we have everything we need, if not 1,000 times more, right? And so when you have that language, like I have to have this, or I need it in order to feel happy or to be successful or whatever it is, your mind kind of rebels against it. And so when you approach it from that place of like lack, your results aren't going to be good. It's not going to be sustainable, because then your actions from that place of like you're not having it isn't fun. And you don't like feeling that way when you start taking the action. So for the weight loss example, if you want to feel abundant in your life, you got to start loving where you are right now. So you feel abundant in everything you have. Like you have a body, right? It moves, it functions, it gets you to work every day. It helps raise your kids. It, helps transport people from one location to the next. Like think about all of the ways that your body is abundant in the way it lives. Okay? Instead of thinking all the things that are wrong with it and all the things that are missing from it, right? So when you fill up your brain with abundant thoughts and loving thoughts about yourself and the way your body contributes to your life, then you feel more love for yourself, okay? And then when you feel more love for yourself and you feel more abundance in with what you have already, your actions from that place will be much more sustainable. So when you want to lose weight, it's fine. Like if you want to do that because you think the journey will be interesting, or you want to evolve into the next best version of yourself, or you want to see what is possible, or you want to wear a size 6, that is all fine, okay? But you got to love where you are now to get there and have it be sustainable. If you hate yourself there and feel like you're missing yourself or missing something when you take those actions, you'll give up, because nobody likes to feel that way, right? You rebel against that. You're like, this sucks. I don't have to do this. I'm going to skip today. I don't feel like it. And then you quit like after a week, right? So like with me in that run this morning, I said, I want to do this. I actually like running. And so I went out and ran. But all the days leading to that since last weekend, it's only been 4 days, I know. But I should have been running because I want to be fit on race day, right? But I was thinking about it the wrong way. I just feel like I needed to do something. And I was like, I need to do that. I should do that. And in actuality, those thoughts made me not do it. Do you guys see the difference there? So that is having an abundance of loving yourself where you are now, knowing that you have everything you need and that you're perfect, even if you are overweight, even if you are over drinking, even if you don't have any money in your bank account. Okay? You have everything that you need. All right? You're not living on the street, right? Without shelter. And if that is the case, and this is a different situation, we could talk differently about that. But I'm guessing 99.9% of the people watching this are like, yeah, we've got everything we need. And so everything else should be like the cherry on top, right? Be thankful that you have running water. Look at all the ways that your life is abundant. Start filling your mind with all of those thoughts. And then there won't be room for the lack thoughts, right? And like how bad things are. So you got to fill it up with all of the abundance, ways that you're amazing, self-talk yourself through that stuff. Even if you don't like your body right now, or you're upset about your drinking habits right now, you can change it just a little bit. You'd be like, I have a body. I drink 4 glasses of wine, right? Like get more factual about it instead of like coming up with this sort of like ways that you're wrong, okay? And then once you accept that you just have a body and that you had 4 glasses of wine, then move on from there. I have a body and I want to treat it with respect. I want to treat it with love, right? I want my body to serve me when I get old. I want to be healthy and I don't want to have long-term health problems, like those kind of thoughts, right? Instead of I need to do this because if I don't, I'm not going to feel happy, or I don't like the way I look, and all of that kind of negative thinking. That's coming from that lack place. With money, it's really, really interesting too, because a lot of us want more money, right? We want to do things more, like we want to go on more vacations, we want to buy things, we want to create businesses that create money. And when you have work, or when you have thoughts in your head about money and you not having not having enough, like if you think I don't have enough money, I don't know how I'm going to get this money, what do you feel? Right? You probably feel like, for me, it would be like, if I don't have enough money, I'm feeling scared. Okay? So when you feel scared, you're going to like stay stuck, right? You're not going to move forward with the thing that you wanted to do. So if I think about not having enough money to invest into my business, and I think that thought, I don't have enough money to do this thing, then I feel scared and I don't take action, right? Or I might just overspend money in other areas. And my results are that I don't have enough money, right? Because I'm coming from a place of like, I don't have enough, or I have to get this sale, or I have to get this type of money. Like this has to work out for me. I have to get this job, right? It's that graspy, reachy desperation when you have those thoughts, and it never turns out well. Usually when you have those thoughts like, I don't have enough, that ends up being your result, is that you don't have enough. If you can generate new thoughts of abundance, it could sound like, I will have enough. I do have enough. I will generate enough. I am enough. I'll figure it out. It will come. What can I do to generate more? Like switch the conversation and switch those thoughts around a little bit to it's like you are perfect now, but let's make it interesting. Let's see what I can do more, right? Instead of like it's this like, oh, this is my situation and this is just what it is. Like it's a fact, right? Like I don't have enough money really is just a thought. Because like if you were to, show that thought to everybody else, they could be like, even if you only had $20 in your checking account, somebody else would be like, you have plenty of money. You can go to the store and buy a week's worth of groceries. Whereas somebody else would be like, oh my gosh, how can you survive without less than $1,000 in your checking account all the time? You know what I mean? So everybody has a different thought about it. So that it's just a thought that you're having that's creating you to have the result in your life of not enough, right? So you just got to shift that a little bit to, I have $20 in my bank account and next week I'll have more, right? Whatever that situation is for you. So that's how it applies to the money thing, is I promise you whatever you think about money and not having enough is creating your current result. So you got to switch that up to a more abundant mindset. When I started my business, it was like, I told myself I was willing to eat canned Campbell's chicken noodle soup and saltine crackers, and that nobody was going to die, nobody was going to starve. And like that's like the worst case scenario. Like who cares, right? We may not be able to buy organic steaks and all the nice fancy stuff that we like to do and go on all these trips, right? Like that's what I was willing, that's like the truth of it. So sometimes our mind likes to really like freak us out and keep us stuck because that's just the way human beings are, right? We want to take the easy way out. We don't like to do scary things. That's what has led us to evolve as a species where we are now, but those don't serve us anymore. Like there's nothing really scary out there anymore. Like nobody's going to let their family starve, right? Worst case scenario for me is that I would eat canned soup and crackers. I'd still have running water. I'd still have my family, still have our car. Like, like get real with like what the worst case scenario is and ask yourself how far you're willing to go. So if I would have let that lack mentality, like I don't have enough money to start my business, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be where I am now with my own business. It's thriving and I have clients and I'm getting paid, like all of that stuff. So just be really honest with what you're telling yourself about your financial situation. And if you are starting something new or you want to pay for something that you feel is important to your life and you feel like you don't have enough money, just challenge those thoughts. Like, don't just believe the first thing that comes into your mind about money and what it's worth to you or what it can generate for you. Okay. They're just thoughts and you can believe them or you cannot believe them. You can always change them, which is the beauty of being a human being. All right. So that's what I wanted to say on abundance. If you guys are watching and have any questions about that or have a thought that you want me to help you change real quick, please just write it in the comment box and I'll help you. I'm going to take a drink. The next thing I want to talk about, which is a very hot topic right now because I am running some Facebook ads for this free video that I have. It's called 3 Steps to Stop Over Drinking. And it's an amazing video and it's, completely free. And it's the 3 major things that I did when I started my journey to stop over drinking. And if you follow those steps, like it's helped so many people, and that's all the information that they ever get from me. Or we don't coach together privately, but it's a very valuable piece of information. I want to help as many people as possible. But it has come up that there's a lot of people that believe that what I'm saying is harmful. And that if I tell people, if I am marketing this message about over drinking or stopping over drinking or saying that you can moderate your drinking, that's dangerous for people that have had a long history with alcohol problems. And so I just wanted to sort of clear the air about that. The reason why I coach on stopping over drinking versus stopping drinking altogether is because for me, in my journey and what I went on and what I've learned and been trained on is going back to that abundance thing, right? When we tell ourselves we can never do something again, what usually happens? That might last for like a week, right? And then we rebel against ourselves and we go back and we're like, fuck it. Like we should be able to have a glass of wine, right? So I don't believe in that philosophy because I don't believe it helps you to your goals. So I'm not saying that if you haven't had a drink and you've been going to AA and you have major issues and, strong addictions to it, that you should start drinking right now. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you want to learn how to cut back and approach it in a completely new way where you work on the desire for the wine so that you don't overdrink. So if you are somebody that likes to have a glass of wine, but you find yourself overindulging on a regular basis and you've tried to cut back on your own, but you don't want to go to AA and you don't want to say you're never going to drink it again, I coach people through that. So it's like working through your urges, learning how to handle your emotions, working on your thoughts, like the underlying causes of why you're over drinking. And I don't believe that just saying, okay, stop drinking right now, and then we'll work on it is the most useful way to do it. And that's not how I did it. And I don't drink anymore. I'm not saying I'll never drink again or any of that stuff. I don't feel like it's important. I did this work and I have no desire for it. And so I don't need to. It's just magic. And so that's the approach that I teach. I don't have anything against AA or traditional recovery programs at all. But if you are somebody that's interested in learning how to cut back without feeling deprived and like it's hard and it's something that you always have to manage, that is where I can help you. And it goes the same thing with the food stuff. It goes hand in hand. And I did both of these things together. It's like, learn how to have a healthy relationship with food. Learn how to have a healthy relationship with alcohol where you're not feeling deprived and you're using those things to add more pleasure and enjoyment to your life. We look at how to handle our emotions, what's going on in our brain. I teach you about how the brain operates when it comes to drinking and eating concentrated foods like a lot of sugar and whatnot. And that is the work that we do. But it's not about saying no and avoiding and resisting and giving your power away. It's about getting your power back and knowing that you've always had the power. And so it's just something different. It's like there's not one program that works for everybody. I'm guessing if you're here watching this or on my email list or, liking this Facebook page, something like that has resonated with you. There's no judgments if you mess up. There's no starting over on day one. It's just analyzing what happened and then moving on, right? So we learn from our failures. We learn from what happens when we overdrink so that we can move forward and not have that experience again. There's no shame. There's no guilt. There's none of that. So we're a human being. And it's complicated, and I help you navigate through some of the ways that you might be taking action and why you're over drinking in the first place, okay? So that at the end of it, you don't feel the need to overdrink, okay? And with alcohol or with AA and traditional recovery programs, I have had experience with that too because I was married to somebody that was an alcoholic before, and it was very bad. And I have family members that have strong drinking issues, and I have had a lot of exposure to it. I also know that program doesn't work for many people too. Okay, a lot of people have tried that and are only aware that might be the only help that they can get. And even if you are really struggling with this problem and you're not able to hold a job and you have one drink and it sends you way down, it doesn't mean that this work won't help you. You can have both. You can have a relationship and go to AA and have somebody privately coach you through that. Like, it doesn't mean that it's black and white, that there's only, the AA way or like there's the stop over drinking way with like having a life coach and stuff. Like, it's not so black and white. My way was very customized. Like, I had a private life coach. I read a shit ton of books. I did a bunch of research. I got connected with energy of the universe. Like, there's a bunch of different things that I did that helped me get to where I am now. And so what I would recommend is you find your own way, like what resonates with you. If AA resonates with you and you like that community and you like going to meetings and you like, raising your hand and saying that kind of stuff, and that is awesome. Do that. But if you don't want to do those things and you want to try something else, do those things. Like, find the coach, go read the books, sign up for the programs, okay? Only you know what is the best option for you. And if you are struggling with this for a long, long time, don't give up. Like, find a different program. Find something new you haven't tried before. Keep an open mind to what is available to you. I will say that all of it starts in our mind, okay? So our thoughts create our feelings. And if you think that you can overcome your over-desire to drink, you can, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your brain. There's nothing wrong with like your genes or any of that. You are a human being, and alcohol is an addictive substance. And if you believe that you can overcome your over-desire to drink, and the reason why you're over-drinking is because you have an over-desire for it. If you believe you can learn how to overcome that, then you can. And that's all it takes. I promise you. If you want to get through like the 5 o'clock time where like you're defaulting going to your wine while you're cooking dinner or whatever it is, you come home from a long stressful day at the office and you don't want to have the urge to drink anymore, you can have that. You got to believe in yourself though. That's where it starts from. It starts up here, and then the rest of it will follow. If you believe AA will work for you, it will. If you believe private coaching with me will work, it will. It's all up to you and your own personal situation, your own way to think about what it is that might click and work for you. So that's what I wanted to just sort of like clear the air about why I teach stop over drinking versus why I don't coach people to stop drinking completely. And there are other coaches that have been trained by my institution that do completely teach people to stop drinking. I, in my experience, have found that my clients are more successful if we don't put that kind of pressure on it. And you get to decide. You're always in control about what you want to do. And we make plans that with your drinking that is reasonable for you and whatever your goals are. Everybody's goals are different. So that's that. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Also, my new program I wanted to tell you guys about. It is amazing. So I am a life coach, obviously, and I coach people privately. So, I have a podcast and I do these Facebook Lives and emails and I have free videos and a bunch of different things that people can access. But if you want to take it to the next level, I offer private coaching for people. So right now, I just created this 8-week program. It's called Stop Over Drinking and Start Living. It is the shiznit. Okay, I'm not joking. I created this book. It's a 55-page workbook where every week of the 8 weeks has a different theme. We discuss relationships and urges and emotions and future and goals and planning. And it's like unbelievable. Okay, there's videos that accompany every week of it, and the support that you get from the very beginning is unheard of for a private one-on-one client. I support you via Marco Polo app. There's email and text support. I mean, it is like a full-on comprehensive help you stop over drinking and actually start living the life that you want to live. And the drinking part, and what I found by coaching many people now, is that is just a small area where people are having problems in their life. And what the big areas are relationships, emotions, work issues. I'm going to read off all the topics here. So, I teach a lot about how our thoughts create our reality. I teach you how to coach yourself so that when we're done with private coaching, you can take it and run with it, and you can apply this same work to all areas of your life. I talk about buffering, and buffering is when we use food and alcohol and Netflix and Facebook to avoid our feelings. We really get into our pasts and our beliefs that we've had for our whole lives. We talk about self-love and unconditional love and abundance. And then we get into like future focus and where you want to go after the program is over. So I wanted to invite you all into that program. Of course, it's limited availability. I only have so many spots I can take on for private clients. But if you're interested in that, I offer a free 30-minute consultation where you can come on the call with me. We can look at your current situation, and I can help you see what is possible with you on an individual basis, and then you can decide if it's a good fit, and I can decide if it's a good fit too. So I will put the link to schedule that 30-minute consultation in the comments here for anybody that would be interested in that. So I would say that if you are somebody that has been stuck with this issue for a while, like you feel like you're over drinking too much and you're not able to lose weight and you're on this vicious cycle, or you have a lot of anxiety and you're drinking and you're just like, you're kind of like in this pattern of like feeling stuck, this would be a really good program for you. And you're sick of it. You've tried all the things, like you've wasted a lot of time, and you're just in a negative place with it and you want to move past it. I would love to help you. So I'm going to put the link in here. You guys can schedule your 30-minute consultation with me. There's no obligation. I can show you what is possible. And I would love to have you as a private coaching client. And I will say that there's no other program out this available. So it's me. Let's get going. My clients are having amazing results. I just finished up with somebody that took a long break from drinking and has no desire for it now. Her anxiety is completely reduced. She has more self-confidence. She's starting a side gig. She's like excited about her long-term health. And that is just one example of results that we get. And I asked her, I'm like, what did you feel like when you first signed up for this program? And she's like, I was really scared and I almost didn't do it and I didn't know what it would look like. And she had a lot of doubt. But as soon as she got in and started doing the work and like figured it out, it was just like instant. And it doesn't take that long. It's a very valuable program, and I have it at 8 weeks, so you can like get in there, and 2 months from now you're done. Like, you're moving on to the next thing in your life that has more importance than how much you're drinking. So I love you guys. I'm so glad all of you showed up. I'll put the link for the 30-minute consult in the show notes of the podcast too. But let me know what you guys think, and go out there and live abundantly, okay? Come from a place of love and that you're enough right now where you are, and then everything else is icing on the cake. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.